Hey guys, how you doing? Happy Father's Day to all those fathers out there. Welcome to the edition of Sean Shed. Snorkel install. Here we go. Alright, so I'm going to run down everything that we need to know about putting a snorkel in. Okay, so start up, this is the model number, iSnorkel 070. As you'll see, the Suzuki Jimny, GJ Jimny 2018 plus. That's us. Alrighty. So first thing, when I opened the box up, and it was a fairly large box, it's actually at the back here anyway, you can't see it. I did realise there was no instructions, and I'm like, shit. It was a good thing that I checked it, because I picked it up on a Friday afternoon. So I got straight onto the Ironman support team, which was fantastic. Spoke to a guy called John, just did his blah blah blah, go through the receipt number and everything, confirmed everything, and he sent me a PDF file for the instructions, which hadn't been uploaded to their instruction website page. Okay, so anyone that's going to be doing their install and they don't get it, I've uploaded the version here to our files page. So if you go to the top of the up to the photo, just down from that you'll see events, photos, blah blah, all that. If you hit files, and it should be the first one on top, so all the instructions are there. Okay, so so the first thing I do when I open it up, I look at what basically it tells me. Oh, you can't really see that on the screen there, but I look at it, basically all the parts are there in the box. Okay, so we'll just run through it. First thing, here it is. That's the snorkel. Alright, so it's got the Ironman written there. Fairly large inlet channel. That's probably one of the biggest one I've seen actually. You're not even a troop carrier is that big by memory. It's been a while since I've done mine, but I went through, I got a heap of hole saw sizes, because I'm a tradie, I'm an electrician. I've done thousands of hole saw cuts of different sizes, even bigger than the 98mm they tell us to use. I thought I got close, but it was actually an 89mm, which I think was used on the Jimny, because it's fairly new, my JB33 Jimny. So yeah, anyway, that's the first bit. Bit of an unboxing here. Okay, so we've got the ram air section. It's got Ironman written on the side, Ironman in blades on the front there. You can change these. Hopefully they're the same size as, say, the Safari snorkel, but you need to measure the inlet at the top there to see if it matches, if you don't like that. Plus these covers are also removable as well, so if you don't like that, you can put a plain one on. You can also get a sock for them as well if you're that pedantic about not getting dust in through your system. Okay, next bit. So we've got this adaptation rubber hose, so that'll go on that side, that'll fit straight into the side panel from the actual snorkel itself. And then this end here, that'll go into the factory via a steel ring. It'll sit inside there. So you'll need a clamp for there, a clamp for there, and then a clamp obviously for the ram air section. That's all covered. I have three here. So the one's black, that's the one we use for the ram, and then the other two are internal. All right. So next up, we've got 5 studs. Okay, so they'll have to be put in. You'll need other tools for that and other equipment, but I'll go through that shortly. 5 nuts to suit, nylocks, 5 washers, so that'll sit all on the inside. We've got these nylon inserts, and that'll be for your A-pillar. That's for the bracket, which looks like that. Okay, so you can't get that wrong. It's got 3 on the one side and 2 on the other. Obviously got the 2 bolts, M6 washer, spring washer inside it. There's 2 of those. And then lastly, we've got 3 of the stainless steel self-tappers. Okay, so it should be all there. All right, on the list, I'm just going to go run through the list here. So I've gone through all the equipment that should be in the parts list. Next thing they tell us is that we need a hole saw, 98mm. This is the tools required for the job. Okay, it's very short. I don't know why. Okay, we've got a step drill. Okay, so we've got our 98mm hole saw. This cost me $50 just for the blade. Okay, but I'll show you a little bit more about that. I bought a brand new step drill. They weren't too expensive. I think I paid around $20. What else do they tell you? Metric spanners, plenty of those. You know what it looks like. Loctite. All right, Loctite. They do sell these at Bunnings as well. Go into your adhesive aisle and you'll find Loctite. You don't have to get super strength. Any of the three's fine, and at the moment they're a special. I think they're all around $15 each, okay? But when you finish with this, put it in the fridge. This is a good product. It'll last longer in the fridge, not sitting on the shelf. I know that through experience. All right, so this is the template. Okay, so the difference between a really shitty snorkel that people sell and good ones is that the template is pretty much spot on. Okay, I've bought cheaper snorkels from China that comes with a template, and I'll tell you, it was so far out, it nearly ruined the job. Nearly had to buy another quarter panel for it. But yeah, trust this. This is gold, and hang on to it too. Don't chuck it out. Just in case. Say for example, you know, you have a bit of a rollover, you bend it and squeeze it and damage it a bit, and you can find a second-hand one, and the panel has to be replaced. This is the bit you want to keep. Okay, so they tell you 4 things to get. Okay, I've got a much larger list than that. Apart from the hole saw, which is just that's just the blade. You also need an arbor, A-R-B-O-R. Okay, and this is about $50 as well if you buy it individually. But then you need to buy a center drill piece that'll fit inside there, okay? And then the blade will basically screw on, and then you push it up and let the pins lock in. You can see those pins there. Some are different, some are screw in and lock. This particular one is just, I'd actually put some WD-40 or I had to use it for a while. All right, I do have these at work as well, but I brought my own tools in for this. All right, okay, the next thing that I'd recommend is lots of masking tape. You're gonna have to put masking tape all along your panels, then you can mark where you need to drill and stuff from there. The other things, buy yourself a 4mm drill bit. Now it does tell you on the template, quite clearly, it says pilot hole 4mm, drill 12mm, step drill. Okay, so got to start off small, work your way bigger. I mean, that's how you, if your first initial drill is a little bit out, especially for the hole saw, it can go terribly wrong. And looking on the snorkel itself, if you notice on one side, there is literally 6-7mm there. They're a bit more generous on the other end. We've probably got about 12mm there. So that's how much leeway you have between the two. And the worst bit is the smaller size is at the very top. So you're basically likely to see that light come through there if you get it wrong, which is a bit of a worry, but we'll get through it. All right, the next bit. Marking pen, mark those holes. Got a blade to cut out the template. I need to cut out the indicator on this side here. The rest of these holes here where the marks are, they just pop straight out. Let's see if I can get one out. There we go. They just pop straight out. So that helps. And the rest there, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all up. All right. So flashlight. Okay. You need to do that to when you take your inner guard off. You just want to make sure there's no cables in the way. You're going to have the vacuum lines for the forward drive locking system, which runs to your hubs. You're going to make sure they're out of the way. You might have to put some bit of timber or a bit of cardboard around or tape everything out of the way when you go to actually drill it, because you might drill into something important, and you may lose forward drive. So and it's probably also a good thing to, once everything goes back together and then you finish it off, just have a quick look, make sure you haven't pumped off any of your hoses or anything like that, because if you get any dirt and muck in there and you can't get it out, it will not work again without a huge amount of effort to try and work it again. And the only other solution to that is to buy either new parts, get it going again, or you will have to put freewheeling hubs on, which is not a real big deal to do actually. It's a bit of stuff around, but I haven't done it, I didn't need to. Screwdriver, a pulling doobie. This is just to take the inner guard plug, the holding plugs, or what do they call them, the fixings for the inner guard, because they can be a bit of a bugger, so they're good. A little bit of sandpaper, okay, that's just to take all the rough when you drill through it. Just get in there with a sandpaper and just give it a bit of a light sand, make sure there's no rough edges and all that, because any of those little tiny bits of swath that gets missed can turn to rust. Sealant, Sikkelfest. They're funny enough. I'll just go through the instructions again. They do mention in it, I'm just going through quickly, I think it's at the very top. It says, note, only use sensor safe sealant during installation. Now, they didn't tell you needed sealant as in tools required. Well, it's an additive. It's part of the tools of trade. Obviously, you'll need a chalking gun with this as well, which, or chalking gun, whatever you want to call it. This is one of mine. It's a bit you've I like to spend a bit extra on my tools because I do use them quite a bit. This is a 221. Bought another 221, but also have a brand new 227 I have lying around. It's got a bit of rust on top, and I'm going to open this one first. This is a fast curing automotive sealant, which is fine. This is the heavy duty adhesive sealant. So they're both sealant. They do the same job. One just sticks better than the other. All right. Okay, sandpaper, got that. Tape measure, just in case. You can just measure between the holes off the template, off the snorkel itself. And that's pretty much it. Oh, one more. When you cut the holes out, file them back a bit, makes them more nice. You got to put some paint on. Okay, this is just touch-up paint. This is what we use at work. It's similar color. Look, you can use a different color. The thing is, no one's ever going to see it. It's going to be on the outside, just on the outside of the rim where the snorkel goes on, and it's going to be on the inside of the car. I'm also going to use a little paintbrush too to put it on rather than spray it. I don't want to spray the rest of my car. Okay, so that's step one. Just make sure you got everything to go, because if you start pulling your car apart, you realise you've got to go down to Bunnings to pick up some stuff. It's going to be a bit of a pain in the arse. So you're better off being absolutely 100% prepared, have all your gear laid out. And as you can see here, I'll just bring the camera down. You can see that I've got all my gear all laid out. It's all ready to go. And the other thing you want to do is actually give your car a wash too. Like, wash it. I mean, if you get a little bit of grain of salt or whatever, the snorkel will move around a bit, okay? So it will scratch that paint eventually. Actually, originally, I had a huge amount of thoughts about what snorkel I was going to go on. It was probably one of the last mods I want to do, second last mod I'm gearing yet. The transfer case mounting a week as well, so I'm hoping someone will bring out a steel version of those. But when it came to the snorkel, I was really hoping that a Safari would bring one out, and I'm pretty sure by the looks of the Ironman one that it's probably close enough to the way that Safari do their snorkels. And I wasn't a real fan of the AirTech. I didn't like the squareness of it. there's enough squareness in the car, but there's also round stuff on the car. So it's form and function. There's two words I like to use: form and function. All about form and function. Now I'm going to the Highland country in Victoria, hopefully in March next year. So there's river crossings. There's stuff I gotta, obviously I need a snorkel if I'm doing river crossings. I don't know how deep it's gonna be and all that stuff. Okay, so plastic ones are good in my opinion. They're a lot cheaper. This was $387. That's what I found online. I rang the local Ironman dealer and he confirmed that it was all good. As far as I know, the AirTech ones are almost $100 dearer, and it does the same thing, and it's uglier in my opinion. Okay, it's just my opinion. Righto. Why didn't I get a stainless steel snorkel? It's mainly to do with the price, and I also watch a lot of other four-wheel drive videos and things like that, and it's the fact that once you ding, if you have a bit of a slight rollover and you ding that snorkel, it will, because it's cylindrical. Oh god, can't even get that word. Because it's round and it's fairly solid, it'll do a lot of damage on your panel work. And the plastic one will flex with the body panels and the A-pillar. You will get some flex in the car. They're designed to do that. With a steel snorkel, you won't get that. You won't get that flex, and you'll actually you can get internal damage of your inner guard, which I truly want to avoid. It's, if you get it painted, then you got to keep the paint on it. If it's half a if it's a decent job, it'll stay okay. It's just personal choice too. Like, face it, I could buy 2 snorkels and double everything that I bought to install it for the price of a stainless steel snorkel before installed. For most of them, they're around $800 to $1,000 just for the snorkel, depending on what you want, and then it's probably another couple of $100 to install it. All right, enough of me crapping on. All right, so gave myself a COVID haircut for tonight, so I looked a bit scruffy last time, but you know me head. This is me new head. All right, let's get into it. So I'll do the next bit and we'll do the next video. All right, I'll see you soon, guys. Catch up.